I've made so many different kinds of chocolate chip cookies, but I feel like this is the mama of them all. This is where it all starts. Start here and then make 28 million cookies. It can only make the world a better place. Cookies for all. Hi, I'm Dorie Greenspan, and I'm in the Food 52 kitchen. A good place to be. About to make my classic chocolate chip cookie. I make chocolate chip cookies all the time, and I'm always playing around with the recipe. But this cookie has had a place in my heart for a long time. And it's a fun cookie because it's good just the way I'm about to bake it with you. And it's also open to variation, so it can become your house chocolate chip cookie. Just want to whisk the baking soda into the flour. So as I said, this is a cookie that could be your house cookie, and you could play with the recipe and add things that you might like. So sometimes I'll add spice to the cookie. This is allspice. I love allspice in a cookie. Cardamom, cinnamon, and this is espresso powder. You can add one of these flavors. You could mix cardamom and espresso powder are fabulous together, or just make the plain cookie as I'm making now. But if you wanted to add the spice, I would mix it in with the dry ingredients. Put it aside for a moment and get the butter into the mixer and the sugar and the brown sugar. So when you have, as many chocolate chip cookies do, this mixture of white granulated sugar and brown sugar, you get the chewiness from the brown sugar and that bit of crunch from the white, and this is salt. So you want to mix the ingredients together, and when you're making cookies, you don't want to beat a lot of air into the mixture because the cookie bakes for just a short time, and so you have the cookie rise and then fall. You just want to blend the ingredients. You want to get a nice creamy mixture, but not a big fluffy one. Just going to scrape down the beater, and while I'm here, I'll add the vanilla, the pure vanilla extract. Only use pure, please. Oh, I'll behave myself and do it properly. If you weren't here, I would have put the egg right into the bowl, but it's really not a good practice. You could get shells in the batter or the dough, which you don't want to do. So you want to make sure that the egg is fully incorporated before you put in the next egg. It's about a minute of beating after the egg goes in, and a scrape. So many chocolate chip cookies have cinnamon in them, and as I said, I often put cinnamon in, and it's always good. But there's something nice about making a cookie that, like this, that doesn't have a spice in it, so that you're really tasting the brown sugar, which tastes like caramel after it's baked. And of course the chocolate, which we're not up to yet. So while I have this open, I put all of the flour into the bowl at once. You never want to beat flour for a long time. And so when you put flour into a dough or a batter, hidden flour, gradually, then the flour that goes in first gets beaten quite a bit. And so I think it's really, if you don't have a ton of flour, and this is not that much, I think it's better to just put it in all at once, cover the bowl so that you don't get flour all over you, And then, if you can, pulse the mixture, the mixer. Pulse the mixer just to get the mixing started. And let's see if it's safe yet. Yeah. So I'm mixing on a low speed. I'm not really beating. I'm just going to scrape and give it one last. Actually, I'm not going to continue to beat it because you can still see a little flour around the edges, but the chocolate is going to go in, and I'm going to put some nuts into the dough. So by the time all the chunkies go in, everything will be mixed. So you can use chips, of course, but I like to use chopped chocolate because you get all different size pieces, including the dust, that little tiny dust, that's what it is, the little tiny pieces of chocolate. Also, if you're chopping your own chocolate, you're getting to use the chocolate that you really love. And while I'm using dark chocolate, you can make these cookies with milk chocolate or white chocolate. So just pulse to get the chocolate started. And then because I'm adding nuts, I'm not going to finish the mixing. When you chop your own chocolate and you add all the pieces, not only is every bite different and delicious and surprising, but the look of the cookie is different because it's almost tweedy. You get the chocolate spread out through the cookie rather than little chip spots. So you can see that this doesn't look like the dough from the back of the bag because it's got all that chocolate spread out through it. Love this. Today I did the chopped chocolate, which I would always do, and chopped nuts. Other possibilities, again, this is your chance to make your house cookie. Raisins, if your raisins, or here we have dried apricots, any dried fruit, if it's hard to begin with, it's not going to get soft in your dough. Put the raisins or fruit in a bowl, run some hot tap water over them, let them sit for a minute, drain and pat dry, and that way they'll be really moist and they'll bake beautifully. Apricots, chop them up, use a scissor, it's easier. Coconut, toasted coconut would be good. Again, this cookie will take whatever you like. My pal, the cookie scoop. Scooping is a great idea because not only do you get pretty rounds, but every round is about the same size. And that means that the cookies will bake evenly. They'll also be just about the same size when they come out of the oven. And it reduces fights among kids for who gets the biggest cookie. They're all the same. If you don't want to make, or if you don't want to bake the full batch, then just scoop them out and freeze the balls of dough. And then you can bake the balls straight from the freezer. So I'm only going to bake this one sheet now, but you could bake 2 sheets at a time. Just divide the oven into thirds, maybe midpoint, switch the sheets around, front to back, top to bottom. So these go into a 375 degree oven, about 10 to 12 minutes. We have cookies. So you can see, I love the look of this cookie. It's wrinkly, which I love. It's tweedy. It's got the bumps from the nuts. And bends in the center, so it's a little chewy in the center, and then the edges have crisp and crackle. And I don't know if you can see, but the chocolate is unevenly distributed in the cookie, which is the fun of it. So you get some chocolate in some bites, more chocolate in others. I think this is a really good chocolate chip cookie. I hope you'll like this. I hope you'll subscribe to the Food 52 channel, and you can get the recipe for these cookies either in my new book, Baking with Dorie, or at Food 52. And I'm coming back to the Food 52 kitchen, so I hope you'll come back too. We'll bake together again.